Look at me for a second. Stop scrolling. Stop letting your thumb dictate what your brain is about to consume and just look right here. I need you to hear what I am about to say to you today, because if you really listen, it will change the entire way you walk through this world. You are tired. I know you are tired. You are tired of pretending like you have it all together, when deep down inside you feel like you are barely holding on by a string. You are tired of waking up with anxiety in your chest before your feet even hit the floor. You are exhausted from dealing with people who do not value your time, from going to a job that does not value your potential, and from coming home to a life that looks nothing like the one you actually thought you were going to have by now. And the craziest part about all of it, you are doing it to yourself. You are the one agreeing to the terms of a life that is draining you dry. You signed up for this stress. You keep letting people into your mental space who have absolutely no business being there. You keep having conversations in your head that nobody else is even attending. You are losing sleep over things that have not even happened yet, worrying about people who are probably at home right now sleeping just fine. It stops today, not tomorrow, not next Monday, not on the 1st of the month. It stops right here, right now, in this exact moment. I am going to give you 4 rules, just 4. Not a whole book you have to read, not a 10-step program you have to pay for, just 4 simple but incredibly hard rules that if you actually apply them will give you a level of peace that you have not felt in years. And I say hard because the truth is always hard to swallow. We like easy, we like quick fixes. We like somebody to tell us that we can just drink a green smoothie and say a few positive affirmations, and suddenly our life is going to be a walk in the park. But that is a lie. That is somebody selling you something. Real peace costs you something. Real peace requires you to put your foot down and say no to the things that have been keeping you up at night. So if you are ready to stop being a doormat, if you are ready to stop being a human pincushion for everybody else's bad moods and bad decisions, then lean in. Because we are about to get into some real talk right now. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you went a whole day without checking your phone to see if somebody texted you back? When was the last time you made a decision without wondering what your mother, your friends, or your partner was going to think about it? When was the last time you sat in a room by yourself, in total silence, and did not feel a creeping sense of panic or guilt? If you cannot answer that, you are sick. Not physically sick, but mentally and emotionally sick. You are addicted to the approval of other people. You are running on a hamster wheel of other people's expectations, and you do not even realize that the wheel is bolted to the floor. You are going absolutely nowhere, but you are burning yourself out trying. We live in a world right now where everybody has an opinion about your life, but nobody has to live it. Everybody has a comment about what you should be doing, how you should be acting, who you should be dating, what kind of car you should be driving, what kind of job you should have. And because you do not have a strong foundation of your own, you let those opinions become your reality. You let somebody else's limited thinking put a ceiling on your life, and that is a tragedy. That is an absolute waste of the gift that you have been given. So rule number 1, and this is the foundation of everything else I am going to say to you today. You have to master the art of minding your own business. I know that sounds simple. I know you are sitting there thinking, well, obviously, I mind my own business. No, you do not. You are all up in everybody else's business. You know what your coworker makes. You know what your neighbor's husband did last week. You know all the gossip, all the drama, all the mess that is happening in your family group chat. But do you know what is happening in your own bank account? Do you know what is happening in your own spirit? Do you know what your own goals are for the next 5 years? You will sit on the phone for 2 hours listening to a friend complain about a man that you told her not to date 3 years ago. But you will not spend 20 minutes sitting in silence figuring out your own next move. You have to stop carrying other people's luggage. It is heavy, and here is the thing about luggage. If you keep picking up everybody else's bags at the airport, your arms are going to be too full to carry your own. And when you get to your destination, you are going to look around and realize you have been hauling everybody else's stuff while neglecting your own dreams. You have to put the bags down. You have to step back and say, that is not mine to carry. That is their mess. Let them carry it, and this applies to how you view other people's success too. Let me tell you something right now. The reason you do not have peace is because you are too busy looking at what somebody else has. You are looking at their house, their car, their vacation pictures, their relationship posts on social media, and you are comparing it to your behind the scenes. You are comparing your raw footage to their highlight reel. You do not know what is happening behind closed doors. You see the smile in the picture, but you do not see the silent treatments. You see the new car, but you do not see the payment book that is keeping them up at night. You see the perfect family photo, but you do not see the resentment that is building in that house every single day. So why are you jealous of a picture? Why are you letting a filtered image on a screen dictate your self-worth? The moment you learn to celebrate where you are while you are working on where you are going, a massive weight is going to lift off your shoulders. You have to run your own race. You really do. If you are running a marathon and you keep turning your head to look at the person running in the lane next to you, you are going to trip. You are going to lose your stride. You are going to lose your breath. You have to keep your eyes forward. You have to focus on your own path, and if somebody passes you, let them pass you. Wave at them. Say good for you. Because their pace has absolutely nothing to do with your finish line. Your only job is to finish your race, to be better today than you were yesterday, to stop stressing over what is in somebody else's lane and start watering your own grass. If you spend half the time working on yourself that you spend worrying about what other people are doing, you would be unstoppable. But you are distracted. You are letting the noise of the world drown out the whisper of your own intuition. And your intuition is trying to tell you something. It is trying to tell you to log off. It is trying to tell you to stop arguing with strangers on the internet. It is trying to tell you to stop giving your energy to people who do not clap when you win. Mind your business. Protect your energy. Guard your mental space like it is the most valuable real estate in the world, because it is. If somebody is not paying your bills, if somebody is not contributing to your peace, if somebody is not adding value to your life, they do not get a front row seat to your mind. They do not get a VIP pass to your thoughts. You have to become ruthless about what you allow into your head. Because every time you let somebody else's drama in, you are pushing a little bit of your own peace out. There is only so much room in there. Choose carefully what takes up space. Now let us move to rule number 2. And this one is going to make some of you very uncomfortable. But I did not come here to make you comfortable. I came here to make you better. Rule number 2 is this. You have to stop expecting people who do not have peace to give you peace. You cannot get water from an empty well. You cannot get sound advice from a confused person. And you absolutely cannot get love and validation from somebody who does not even love and validate themselves. Think about the relationships in your life right now. Really think about them. Think about the person you are losing sleep over. Think about the friend you are always trying to please. Think about the family member whose approval you have been chasing since you were a child. Now ask yourself a very honest question. Does this person have the kind of life that I want? Do they have the kind of mindset that I want? Are they peaceful? Are they happy? Are they fulfilled? Because if they are not, why on earth are you letting them dictate your happiness? Why are you waiting for a broken person to validate you? It makes no sense. We do this thing where we go to the most damaged person in the room and we ask them to confirm our worth. We go to somebody who is miserable in their own marriage and we ask them for relationship advice. We go to somebody who is broke and hates their job and we ask them if we should take a risk on our business. That is like going to a person who cannot swim and asking them to teach you how to cross the ocean. They are going to pull you under. They are not trying to pull you under because they are evil. They are pulling you under because that is all they know how to do. They are drowning too. Misery does not just love company. Misery needs company to survive. Misery looks at your joy and feels threatened by it. Because if you are happy, if you are growing, if you are stepping into your purpose, it forces the miserable people around you to look at their own lives. And they do not want to look at their own lives. It hurts too much. So what do? They try to pull you back down. They will use little comments. They will use sarcasm. They will use guilt. They will say things like, "You think you are better than us now," or "You have changed. You are acting different." And when they say that, you need to look them dead in the eye and say, "You are absolutely right. I have changed because the old me was miserable and I am not doing that anymore." You have to understand that when you decide to level up your life, when you decide to go after peace and purpose, you are going to outgrow some people. And outgrowing people does not mean you hate them. It does not mean you think you are better than them. It just means your season together has ended. You are not the same person you were 5 years ago. So why are you still holding onto relationships that were built for the person you used to be? Some people are only meant to be in your life for a chapter. They are not meant to be in your life for the whole book. But we try to force it. We try to keep people in our life who are actively poisoning our mindset because we are afraid of being alone. We are afraid of starting over. We are afraid of what people will say if we cut them off. Let me tell you something about being alone. Being alone is not the same thing as being lonely. Being alone is a choice. Being lonely is a condition. And I promise you, you can be in a room full of 100 people, married with kids, surrounded by friends, and be the loneliest person in the world if you are surrounded by people who do not understand your spirit. I would rather sit in a quiet room by myself, drinking a cup of coffee, reading a book, building my own mind, than sit at a table with people who make me feel small. I would rather be alone and at peace than be in a crowd and in chaos. You have to get comfortable with the idea of letting go. Because the thing you are holding onto so tightly, that toxic relationship, that one-sided friendship, that family member who constantly disrespects you, it is the very thing that is blocking your blessings. Your hands are full of dead weight. How can God put something new in your hands if you refuse to let go of the old mess? You have to open your hands. You have to drop the weight. And yes, it is going to hurt for a minute. Letting go always hurts. Even if you know the person is bad for you, even if you know the relationship is toxic, it still hurts because you are human and you cared. But pain is not always a sign that you are making a mistake. Sometimes pain is just the feeling of a splinter being pulled out of your skin. It hurts coming out, but the moment it is gone, the healing begins. Stop going back to the splinter. Stop picking at the wound, let it heal. Stop accepting half-hearted apologies from people who know exactly what they did to you. An apology without changed behavior is just manipulation. It is just a way for them to keep you on the hook. If somebody keeps hurting you, they are not making a mistake. They are making a choice, and you have to make a choice too. You have to choose yourself. You have to start setting boundaries, and I know that word gets thrown around a lot online these days. Boundaries, but do you actually know what a boundary is? A boundary is not about controlling another person. You cannot control what another person does. You cannot make somebody respect you. You cannot make somebody love you the right way. You cannot make somebody stop lying to you. What you can do is control what you tolerate. A boundary is a line that you draw around your own peace. And when somebody crosses that line, you do not stand there and argue with them about where the line is. You just enforce the consequence. If you tell somebody, do not speak to me that way, and they speak to you that way anyway, your boundary is not the words you said. Your boundary is you walking away and not answering the phone for 3 days. Your boundary is the action that follows the rule. We are so afraid of enforcing consequences because we do not want to lose the person. But what good is keeping the person if you lose yourself in the process? What good is having a full phone contact list if you feel completely empty inside? You have to respect yourself enough to walk away from the table when love is no longer being served. And I mean real love, not manipulation, not control, not guilt trips, not history. I am talking about real, genuine, supportive, uplifting love. If the people in your life are not making you feel more confident, more peaceful, more inspired, more loved, then what are they doing there? You are not a charity. You are not a rehabilitation center. You are not a hospital for broken people who refuse to heal themselves. You are a human being with a limited amount of time on this earth. And every second you spend trying to fix somebody who does not want to be fixed is a second you steal from your own destiny. You have to let people be who they are. And if who they are does not align with who you are trying to become, you have to love them from a distance. You can pray for them, you can wish them well, but you cannot let them in your house. You cannot let them in your head. You cannot let them break your peace, because your peace is your power. Once you lose your peace, you lose your clarity. Once you lose your clarity, you start making bad decisions, and bad decisions lead to a bad life. It is a domino effect. And it all starts with you saying no to the wrong people. Now we are getting into the deep stuff, rule number 3. And this is where the real work begins. Because the first 2 rules were about other people. This rule is about you. You have to stop lying to yourself. You have to stop telling yourself stories that make you feel better about the things you know you need to change. We are all guilty of this. We tell ourselves these elaborate stories to justify our bad habits, our poor choices, our lack of discipline. We say things like, I am just tired right now. I will start working out next week. I will start saving money next month. I will leave this relationship after the holidays. I will look for a new job after I get this bonus. You know what that is? That is you negotiating with your own future. You are trading your destiny for temporary comfort. You are selling out your dreams for a little bit of extra sleep. And the truth is, you are not tired. You are uninspired, you are not lacking time, you are lacking discipline, you are not stuck. You are just avoiding the hard work that it takes to get unstuck. I need you to hear me on this. Comfort is the enemy of progress. If you are comfortable right now, you are not growing. Growth only happens in the stretch. Growth only happens when you push yourself past the point where you want to quit. But we have been sold this lie that life is supposed to be easy. We have been sold this lie that if you are struggling, something is wrong. Let me tell you right now, if you are not struggling, you are not trying. If everything in your life is easy, you are playing it way too safe. You are living so far below your potential that it should make you angry. You have gifts inside of you that you are not using. You have ideas that you are not executing. You have a purpose that you are ignoring because pursuing it requires you to be uncomfortable. It requires you to wake up early. It requires you to stay up late. It requires you to read when you would rather watch television. It requires you to save when you would rather spend. It requires you to say no to the party so you can say yes to your future. And most people are not willing to do that. Most people want the reward without the work. They want the trophy without the training. They want the respect without the grind. But life does not work like that. Life is a vending machine. You do not get to just stand there and stare at the glass and hope a bag of chips falls out. You have to put something in to get something out. You have to make an investment to get a return, and right now you are making zero investments in yourself. You are pouring all your time, all your energy, all your money into everybody and everything else. And then you wonder why you feel spiritually bankrupt. You wonder why you feel empty. It is because you have not fed your own soul. You have not watered your own garden. You have to start being brutally honest with yourself. Look in the mirror, not to check your hair or your makeup. Look deep into your own eyes and ask yourself, am I doing everything in my power to become the person I was created to be? If the answer is no, then you have no right to complain about your life. You have no right to be mad at the world when the world is just giving you exactly what you asked for. You get out of life what you are willing to put into it. If you put in half effort, you get half results. If you put in zero effort, you get zero results. It is basic math. But we want to blame the economy. We want to blame our boss. We want to blame our parents. We want to blame the neighborhood we grew up in. And yes, some of those things are real obstacles. I am not dismissing your struggle. I know life is not fair. I know some people start out with a harder hand of cards than others. But at some point, you have to stop looking at the cards you were dealt and start figuring out how to play them. Because the game is happening whether you play or not. Time is passing whether you use it or not. And you can sit there and hold on to your excuses, and they will keep you warm at night, I guess, but they will not pay your bills. They will not fix your relationship. They will not make you a better person. Excuses are just lies dressed up in a nice suit. They sound good when you say them to other people, but deep down inside, in the quiet moments when you are alone, you know the truth. You know that you are capable of more. You know that you are playing small. You know that you are settling for a life of mediocrity when you were built for greatness. And every day that you choose mediocrity, a little piece of your spirit dies. You feel it. That heaviness you feel in your chest, that is not anxiety. That is unfulfilled potential. That is your purpose knocking on the door of your heart saying, "Let me out." But you keep the door locked because you are afraid. You are afraid of failing. You are afraid of what people will say. You are afraid that if you try and do not succeed, it will prove all the negative things people ever said about you. But let me tell you what is worse than failing: regret. Failing is just a lesson. Failing is just feedback. Failing means you had the courage to step into the arena. But regret is looking back 10 years from now and realizing you could have been amazing, but you chose to be average. Regret is realizing you had the power to change your life, but you were too lazy to use it. Regret is a heavy burden to carry. And I promise you it is a burden you do not want to bear, so stop lying to yourself. Stop telling yourself that tomorrow is going to be different if you are doing the exact same things today that you did yesterday. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You cannot keep doing what you have always done and expect to get a different result. That is the definition of insanity. If you want your life to look different, you have to act different. You have to think different. You have to make different choices. And part of making different choices means you have to stop being so soft on yourself. We live in a culture right now that coddles people. Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody is a victim. Nobody wants to take responsibility for their own choices. If you are overweight, it is genetics. If you are broke, it is the system. If you are unhappy, it is your childhood. Listen to me. All of those things might have contributed to where you are right now. I am not saying they did not, but they are not responsible for where you are going from here. From this moment forward, you are the CEO of your own life. You are the driver of this bus. You can no longer sit in the back seat and complain about the route. You have to grab the steering wheel. You have to take ownership of your life, and that requires discipline. Discipline is not a dirty word. Discipline is just love in action. When you discipline a child, you do it because you love them and you want them to grow up to be a good person. When you discipline yourself, you are doing it because you love yourself and you want to grow up to be the best version of yourself. But you are not disciplining yourself. You are letting yourself off the hook every single day. You hit the snooze button. You skip the workout. You eat the junk food. You scroll on your phone for 3 hours instead of working on your goals. You spend money you do not have on things you do not need to impress people you do not even like. That is not self-love. That is self-sabotage. Loving yourself means doing the hard things that are good for you even when you do not feel like doing them. Loving yourself means keeping the promises you make to yourself. If you told yourself you were going to wake up at 5 in the morning, wake up at 5 in the morning. If you told yourself you were going to save $100 this week, save $100 this week. If you told yourself you were going to read 10 pages a day, read 10 pages a day. Because every time you break a promise to yourself, you are eroding your own self-trust. And without self-trust, you have nothing. You cannot trust anybody else if you do not trust yourself. You cannot expect other people to respect you if you do not respect yourself enough to keep your own word. You have to start building integrity with the person in the mirror. You have to start proving to yourself that you are not a quitter, that you are not lazy, that you are not the kind of person who gives up when things get hard, because things are going to get hard. I guarantee you, the moment you decide to change your life, obstacles are going to appear out of nowhere. The car is going to break down. The boss is going to get on your nerves. The relationship is going to hit a rough patch. That is life testing you. That is the universe asking you, how bad do you really want this? Are you going to fold under pressure, or are you going to rise to the occasion? Most people fold. Most people give up at the first sign of resistance. They say, see, I knew it was not meant to be. No, it was not meant to be easy. It was meant to be worth it. There is a difference. Do not confuse difficulty with destiny. Just because it is hard does not mean you are on the wrong path. Sometimes the hardest path leads to the most beautiful destination. But you will never see the destination if you quit on the trail. You have to keep walking. You have to keep pushing. You have to dig deep down inside of yourself and find that grit, that determination, that fire that got you out of bed this morning. It is in there. I know it is in there. You just have to stop burying it under excuses and comfort and fear. Now we get to rule number 4, the final rule, and this is the rule that ties everything together. If you do not get this one, the first 3 will not matter. Rule number 4 is that you have to learn to be at peace with the process. You have to learn to fall in love with the journey instead of obsessing over the destination. We are so obsessed with the finish line that we are ruining the race. We want everything right now. We live in a microwave society. We want our food fast, our money fast, our success fast, our healing fast. And if it does not happen in 30 days, we say it does not work. We say it is a scam. We say the universe is against us. But you are not a microwave meal. You are a masterpiece, and masterpieces take time. You cannot rush a process that is designed to build your character. Every delay is not a denial. Every closed door is not a rejection. Sometimes a closed door is just protection. Sometimes a delay is just God giving you time to prepare for what is coming next. Because if He gave you the blessing right now, in your current state, with your current mindset, it would destroy you. You are not ready for the level of success you are praying for. You think you are. You see the house, you see the car, you see the business, you see the platform, and you say, Lord, if you just give me that, I will be good. I will be faithful. I will be humble. No, you will not. If you cannot be faithful with the $50 in your bank account right now, you will not be faithful with $50,000. If you cannot be grateful for the small apartment you are living in right now, you will not be grateful for the mansion. If you cannot love the person you are today, you will not be able to handle the pressure of who you are going to become. Success does not change you. Success magnifies who you already are. If you are a bitter, jealous, ungrateful person right now, you will just be a bitter, jealous, ungrateful person with more money. And that is a dangerous combination. So the process is not a punishment. The process is a preparation. You have to learn to trust the timing of your life. I know it is frustrating. I know you look around and you see people who are younger than you, who started after you, who seem to be passing you by, and it makes you feel like you are falling behind. But let me tell you a secret. There is no such thing as falling behind in life, because it is not a race against other people. It is a race against yourself. Your only competition is the person you were yesterday. You are on your own timeline. You are on your own path, and the detours you have taken, the mistakes you have made, the years you feel like you wasted, none of that was wasted. None of it. Every wrong turn taught you a lesson you needed to learn. Every bad relationship showed you what you will never tolerate again. Every failure built a muscle in your spirit that you are going to need for the next level. You cannot skip the steps. You cannot cheat the process. You have to go through it, and going through it means experiencing the disappointment. It means experiencing the rejection. It means experiencing the loneliness. It means experiencing the days when you cry in your car and wonder if anybody even sees you. I see you, but you have to keep going. You have to trust that the seeds you are planting right now are going to grow. You do not dig up a seed the day after you plant it, just because you do not see a flower yet. You water it. You give it sunlight. You wait. You have patience, because the soil is doing work that you cannot see. The same thing is happening in your life right now. Behind the scenes, things are shifting. Things are aligning. Things are working together for your good, even when it looks like everything is falling apart. You have to have the faith to stand in the dark and believe that the light is coming. That is what real faith is. Faith is not believing when everything is going great. Anybody can do that. Faith is believing when your back is against the wall. Faith is believing when the bank account is empty. Faith is believing when the doctor gives you a bad report. Faith is believing when everybody else has counted you out. That is when your faith is tested, and if you can just hold on, if you can just take one more step, if you can just get through today, tomorrow the sun will rise again, and you will be stronger, you will be wiser. You will be closer to your breakthrough than you have ever been before, but you have to stop rushing the process. You have to stop looking at your phone, waiting for a text message that is going to change your life. You have to stop refreshing the page, waiting for an opportunity to fall out of the sky. Get up and create the opportunity. Get up and build the life you want with your own two hands. And while you are building, enjoy the building. Find joy in the struggle, find beauty in the mess. There is a certain kind of peace that comes when you finally surrender to the process. When you finally stop fighting reality and start embracing it. When you finally say, you know what, I am not where I want to be, but I am not where I used to be either. And I am going to be okay with that for right now. I am going to be grateful for this moment. I am going to be grateful for the air in my lungs. I am going to be grateful for the roof over my head. I am going to be grateful for the ability to try again tomorrow. Because gratitude is the gateway to peace, you cannot be anxious and grateful at the same time. You cannot be fearful and grateful at the same time. You cannot be angry and grateful at the same time. Gratitude forces you to focus on what you have instead of what you do not have. And when you focus on what you have, you realize that you already have enough. You already are enough. You do not need the new job to be valuable. You do not need the relationship to be whole. You do not need the money to be worthy. You are valuable right now. You are whole right now. You are worthy right now. Just as you are in this exact moment, with all your flaws and all your mistakes and all your scars. You are a masterpiece in progress, and you need to start treating yourself like one. I need you to go back and think about these 4 rules. Really let them sink into your spirit, mind your own business, and protect your peace from other people's drama. Stop expecting peace from people who do not have it themselves, and be willing to let go of relationships that are poisoning your well. Stop lying to yourself, take responsibility for your life, and have the discipline to do the hard things you know you need to do. And finally, surrender to the process. Trust the timing of your life, and find gratitude in the journey. If you just apply these 4 rules, not perfectly, because you are going to mess up, but consistently, if you just wake up every day and try your best to live by these 4 principles, I guarantee you, your life will transform. The anxiety will start to fade. The anger will start to dissolve. The heaviness in your chest will start to lift. You will start to sleep better. You will start to walk with your head held high. You will start to look people in the eye with a confidence that comes from knowing who you are and whose you are. Because peace is not the absence of trouble. Peace is the presence of power. It is the ability to stand in the middle of a storm and not be moved. It is the ability to be surrounded by chaos and still have a quiet mind. That is available to you. It is your birthright. But you have to fight for it. You have to choose it. You have to protect it. Nobody is going to come riding in on a white horse and hand you a peaceful life. You have to build it. You have to set the boundaries. You have to do the inner work. You have to face your demons. You have to heal your wounds. And yes, it is going to be the hardest thing you have ever done. But I promise you, on the other side of that hard work is a life that is so beautiful, so fulfilling, so rich with love and joy and purpose, that you will look back on this day, the day you decided to change, and you will thank God that you did not give up. You will thank God that you kept going when everybody else thought you were crazy. You will thank God that you chose yourself when nobody else did. So make that choice today, right now. In this moment, decide that you are done living a life of stress and worry and people pleasing. Decide that from this day forward, peace is your priority. Guard it with your life. Because at the end of the day, when the lights go out and it is just you and your thoughts, peace is the only thing that matters. Money will not comfort you. Status will not comfort you. The opinions of people who do not even like themselves will not comfort you. Only peace, so go get your peace back. It is waiting on you, and you deserve it.